Are you selfish if you refuse to have the jab? Okay, that's our big question of the day. That's our Twitter poll out there today as well. And I want your views on this from the very start. 03444 991,000. Text talking your message 87222 or tweet us at Talk Radio. I think Michael Gove is pretty selfish. He's the one who said it was that we were selfish if we didn't have the vaccine. I mean, he goes off to watch Chelsea away, takes part in a mysterious pilot scheme when he comes back. He's part of the Piers Morgan crowd, isn't he? You know, do as I say, not as I do. He's a Matt Hancock, a little Matty Hancock. You know, you can't spend Christmas with your loved ones, but for the whole time, he's spending it with somebody else's loved ones, wasn't he? You know, he says you had to stay in your own home while he was playing away from home. I mean, this guy, where do they get off? This selfishness angle, right, that Boris Johnson has now come out to try to quash, this selfishness angle is kind of like the parent-child approach to politics, isn't it? It's the stick, not the carrot approach. And Boris Johnson is guilty of this too. Forget what Boris has come out and said today. Oh, you know, you're not selfish if you have it. We need to present the positive message of it. Well, you know, actually, hang on a minute. Boris Johnson's literally enforcing rules that mean that if you don't get the vaccine, you can't live your life as you know it. That's not presenting the positive message for anything, is it? In fact, that's presenting a pretty negative message. Some would argue that's coercion. I refused to have the jab 4 times, okay? I didn't want it. And everyone I spoke to was saying to me, get it. They looked at me like I was an idiot. Although I get that quite a lot, as you can imagine. And I just said, no, I'm not doing it. And then eventually, I went and got it. But I must say, I felt so pressured into it. Unbelievably so. I felt coerced into putting a needle into my body and injecting myself with a liquid that I'm not 100% sure about. And I know the science is there, and I'm not saying that I think this thing is deadly or anything like that. I personally was not sure about it, and I didn't want it. And I think that's a terrible world to live in. People might be saying that I gave in because I wanted to go abroad or I wanted to go to nightclubs. To be honest with you, you're kind of right. And I feel really bad about it. I don't feel great about myself. I feel like I've betrayed some of my own principles. I'm supposed to be my own man and follow my own gut. And I feel as though I gave in, actually. I gave in. And I imagine a lot of you feel that way. If you have had the jab, do you feel like you were forced into it? Do you feel like you were coerced into having it? 03444 991,000. Get this. When I went into the vaccination centre, right, I was berated for not getting the jab sooner. So I've gone there. I don't want to be there. I visibly don't want to be there. I don't want this thing. And then when I do get in there, they go, well, you're part of the problem. Why didn't you have it sooner? What was it? What were you afraid of? I nearly lumped them and walked out, to be perfectly honest with you, but I didn't, obviously, because there's rules at a vaccine centre. But how silly I am. You know, they're saying, oh, how silly you are. How silly you are for not getting it. That's wrong. We're being coerced by politicians, the medical community, the media, and vast swathes of the public, because if you don't have it, you're an anti-vaxxer. You're a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist. You're a scumbag if you don't have the vaccine. That's the world we live in now, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. That's no way to do things. But I do want to know from you, have you had it? Will you have it? Why haven't you had it? What are the rules? Do you feel as though you're being selfish? That number 03444991000. I don't think you're selfish if you don't get the jab. At the end of the day, if all the vulnerable people and the vast majority of people who have had it have been vaccinated, I suspect you're probably about as likely to kill someone driving home from work as you are by giving them the virus. That's if, of course, all these vaccines work like they're supposed to, right? Regarding the argument that you might get sick and end up in hospital and help to overwhelm the NHS, okay, well, the NHS will never be overwhelmed. I've done a lot on NHS strikes. I've done a lot on staff strikes, right? And then I always say to them the same question. Well, if you go on strike, don't people die? And they go, no, because we'd stagger the strikes. Well, I think, as a rule, if half of you can go on strike and the service you're providing won't be affected, I don't think you're that overstretched, mate. I've got to be perfectly honest with you. If half of the production team went on strike here, we'd be screwed, right? If half the NHS goes on strike, apparently it still functions. So where's the overworked? Where's the overstretched there? All right? I'm absolutely fizzing about all this stuff, and I'm sure that comes across. But look, at the end of the day, I gave into it, didn't I? And I wonder if there's a lot of you out there like that. Do you feel as though people are selfish now if they don't get the jab? 03444 991,000 is that number. I can see our phone lines lighting up, and I want to go to them very, very soon, actually. I think we can squeeze one in.